Cristy, Code Red, author, entrepreneur, retired professional boxer. And in today's video, we're going to talk about, are you still exhausted and fried from the last 2 years? If you're like most people, things just don't feel the same since the pandemic, do they? And they don't to me. Or maybe for you, it's even worse than that. Maybe you're so exhausted and fried from the last 2 years, you can't even care whether things even feel the same. It could be that you're scared, or it could be that you're now worried about the economy and the cost of everything and how it's all going up, and regular gas is over $5 a gallon, even at the time of this video. Maybe you lost people or your job or your way of life during the pandemic. It could be that you lost a feeling of safety and certainty that you had before the pandemic showed you what illusions they were, and you still feel like you're standing in shifting stands. Whatever's happened that has you feeling exhausted and fried. I mean, I totally get that. And I feel a portion of that too. But it's important for you to understand that it's not just you. A lot of people feel the way you do. And it's not really that much of a surprise if you think about it. For 2 years, we've spent every day being pummeled by death and fear and shame and guilt and finger pointing and judgment. And when you live in a state of perpetual terror like that, it takes a toll. It might even fry out your nervous system. When most people's nervous system gets fried out like that, they just try to escape. They eat crap food. They eat too much. They watch too much TV. They drink. They smoke pot, or even worse, they all try to they don't want to feel anything bad anymore. The problem is escaping instead of dealing with it and feeding your body garbage, really. It doesn't help you heal. The opposite actually happens. It makes you feel worse and worse. And even if you actually feel better in the moment, you're going to feel worse long term. You're going to feel worse actually pretty quick after that moment. Because when you're eating something or drinking something, that good feeling really only lasts just a couple of seconds. And maybe you don't even care about that. Maybe you're planning to just emotionally hide out and wait for things to just fix themselves. You want things to go back to the way they were pre-pandemic. I get it. But the reality is there's no going back to the way things were. For better or worse, it's a new day, and it's a time for a new way. A way where you stop waiting for everything else to figure it out. And you step up and you start leading the way in your own life. See, you're the only constant in your life. As much as things have changed over the last 2 years, you're still here. You're still living. That means you have a say-so in what you do. So instead of waiting on the world to be recognizable again before you start living again, well, why don't you start now? Remember, you don't control the world. Oh, you can influence more than what you think, believe me, especially when you start with you. Your example is the most important form of influence available upon you, but controlling the world, no, you do not. And the sooner you come to peace with that and start focusing on what you can control, like what you eat and drink and how you spend your time, well, the better you're going to start feeling good. The better you're going to start feeling. I'm talking about feeling better on a daily basis without having to artificially prop yourself up using sugar, junk, or alcohol. That's not feeling better. That's doling out how you really feel. Another thing you can start to do to feel better, besides taking better care of yourself, is to start spending time with people who are uplifting instead of negative and always complaining about everything. Being around those kinds of people all the time really sucks the life out of you. Being around uplifting people lifts you up with them. And in the Code Red Network, we've got tens of thousands of people who love to lift each other up as we take our lives back with real food, water, and sleep. So create your free account at coderedlifestyle.com/APP and be a part of the rising tide that lifts all ships. Instead of spending all of your time with people who act like the tidal waves are trying to take out the ships, it'll help you feel better in a healthy way. When you feel better in a healthy way, your entire life gets better. So create your free account now in the Code Red Network, and I'll see you on the next video.